Welcome, one and all, to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer here to, of course, illuminate this moon in Virgo transit, Sun in Cancer. We are at the third house and final part of this activation. The purpose of activating the new moon cycle is to prepare you to integrate it. And since this is the final part of the individualization activation series in the second arc of this year, the divine integration or the sacred integration arc, not to be confused with the divine integration arc of last year. This is relative to the final part of the individuation. The first part was Aries, second part Taurus, third part Gemini of the first season, and this is the last part, bringing us into social integration. And relative to the social integration that in Cancer will happen in the collective Sag in the sixth house, this is basically taking new individual powers and integrating them throughout social dynamics. And so we have the new moon in Cancer, the moon in Leo, and now we have the moon in Virgo. The third house is the house of learning. Virgo is a sign of mastery through being an apprentice first. And we know that practice makes perfect. The magic of Virgo is repetition. You are, ladies and gentlemen, understanding moon, the details and the practical, physical skills that will enable you to master Virgo, moon in Virgo, newly defined psychic powers, Cancer. So we activated the feel, all right? You asked yourself what and who you are, that you got answered Gemini season, and now you're feeling it. You are setting intentions based off of the feeling of yourself in this action. And anything that knocks you out of that feeling, you just get back into that feeling to strengthen what you did through Leo. And this is a very pivotal transit before breakthrough, moon in Libra, where the seed breaks through the ground after this activation cycle has this water and nurture it. So Virgo is key because you're going to be receptive to the details and evidence of causality based off what you feel and how that facilitates the happening to change your feelings as a cause into the effects that this causes. Virgo is very subtle. Cancer is super subtle. As when we talk about feelings, when we talk about your inner world and how you inert and through the function of Cancer feeling to access the psychic ability, tap into this more micro causality. All right. It's just with the moon in Virgo, you're going to be receptive to real details around what you're feeling and what happens, hence opening up this breakthrough of magic. What that basically means is look forward to seeing evidence of you using your psychic abilities, because the utilization of this will be the harvest of the full moon in Capricorn, where you're understanding the usage, moon and Cap, of power, Cancer. Okay, the sun in Cancer is trining Neptune, so this is aligning you as we tighten the trine to an awareness of the metaphysical and how your feeling of who you are taps you in to so much more of an intuitive revelation. And so the moon opposing Neptune is going to detail how in this physical realm, everything that's happening outside and beyond metaphysically mirrors. You're going to be receptive to what's real about what's unseen because they mirror each other, as above, so below. And this is what's going to prepare you for the next moon in Pisces transit that will conclude everything you're learning, that will be mastered by them to show the unseen metaphysical dynamics of what you've already mastered physically here. I wish there was a simpler way I can say that. But the reason why I'm excited about this is a major challenge about utilizing or experiencing your power, all right, is now fleshing out real techniques and abilities that Moon and Virgo will have you practice, 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 and practice, so that when we go into Libra, you're breaking through by expressing these powers socially, Libra, with other people. How well can you balance the expression of these abilities with other people will determine how you break through. Because now that's going to lead into integrating how we use this with other people to ascend with Moon and Sag. Everything you master here, Moon and Sag, will help you see the higher level of. So you're going to be receiving legitimate details about how Virgo to experience and express new techniques, new abilities, because this is now the final part of the activation. You're going to be experiencing the real part of this activation. So it's very key and possible for some, not all, because some of you are advanced, right? Some of you, like me, who are just awakening to all this, you're realizing for the first time, oh, this is how my feelings impacted. This is how my intent impacts this. And the purpose of what you're receiving and receptive to should spur on practice, 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 and polish this, because you're going to be revealed more and more as the moon opposes Neptune, quincunxes Saturn, trines Pluto, and empowers more awakening of these higher facets of yourself, the collective facet of yourself, the God facet of yourself, the divinity that is associated with you, so that you can now ground the higher faculty of said psychic abilities. Because it's one thing to say you have psychic power. How does that make real sense? How do you make real sense of quantum metaphysical dynamics? You can't see feelings, right? Well, no. You are going to actually be receptive to how real the psychic power charged with you feeling yourself opens this doorway into a more masterful, perfect sense of expression. We do know that the moon is squaring Venus in Gemini, and this is going to challenge you with ways to express beauty in your heart, to ground more practically. So you're not stuck in your head thinking things that are not really real. It's just what you think. And this could induce a bit of a reality check. You may like somebody you're drawn to, but in reality, you see that they're talking to somebody. The opposition to Neptune is saying to align to your intuition. You don't know if that person they're talking to is just a friend. You don't know if that person they're talking to they're about to break up with, or they could just be getting married to, but you don't have all the answers. That's just one example. Whether that's with a career or a friendship, something romantic, you have to stay aligned with where your intuition is guiding you and open up to different forms of it also showing, because you're going to gain a lot of relevant details about what has been activating relative to you. And where's Cancer in your chart? That's where you're going to really notice this. The sun continues to slowly but surely oppose Pluto, which is going to make more extreme your feeling of how world events impact your individuality. The purpose for Cancer season is to flesh out your sincere feelings. Recap: Aries is individuality and authenticity. I am. Well, how do you feel, right? Where are you from? What sense of sincerity fuels the depth of your identity to make way for balance in Libra and accountability and integrity in Capricorn? When you're sincere, you can have integrity. The expression of integrity, Capricorn, is sincerity, Cancer. Okay. And so that being said, these are kind of like seemingly not that big, but it's huge. The littlest things are the hugest things, ironically, macrocosmically and microcosmically, whether we're dealing with quantum or macrocosmic, phenomena. They are all very similar in its design, in its nature. Let me not try and act smarter or use these words to sound smart. Really, what we want to hit home with is focus on the real feeling of how you're mastering newly developed skills and behaviors around who you're feeling you are. Prepare for major revelations and realizations about higher facets of yourself that you're able to not only ground practically and make sense of practically in relation to this real social dynamic. Neptune is the imaginary realm. Virgo represents your real behavior. So as you prepare to integrate this more, the third house nature of this is going to, through your body language and real social cues, enable you to communicate a very masterful, grounded attitude. So there's receipts. A lot of what you've downloaded about yourselves and others, there's receipts on receipts on receipts with synchronicities to give you a much clearer picture than ever about what it is you're stepping into and what it is you're currently experiencing. I've been waiting for this transit because I'm a magician, and I'm the magician, and I love magic. All right, you love magic. Everyone loves magic. The only thing constant in life is change. Magic facilitates change, and through perception helps you see things in different ways. Let the moon in Virgo help you be receptive to details that now give you more situational context to direct Cancer Cardinal the action of what you feel about yourself and in relation to others in the right direction. And for some of you, that will require a reality check. For others of you, it will require you to stop doubting yourself. Like, that'll be your reality check. There's certain things that you feel are just too impossible, too good to be true, especially regarded around you, that don't allow you to feel yourself as you are because you think you're being narcissistic, arrogant, when in reality, it's truer than you can even imagine. And you have to allow your own self to guide you through your own doubt. Pisces is belief. Virgo is doubt. We need a doubter. We need someone to be like, hey, that's bullshit. That's not right. No, that's not real. And we need someone to be like, hey, you need to believe, even though you can't see. Both are necessary. And so the moon opposite Neptune is relative to the last time the moon was on Neptune, manifesting dreams. Every time we have opposition to Neptune, we are now seeing what's real about what's imagined. And this bridges heaven and earth. So many of you, if you're able to pay attention to the details, will tap into very quickly what you have manifested, what is manifesting, and what you can actually cultivate, because we're still activating these new seeds and it's ready to push through the round. In feeling now with the trine of the moon to Uranus, your power, okay, induce imagination, induce Neville Goddardian, I made up the word Goddardian, techniques to feel your intent as if you've already manifested it, which is a great exercise to do. Tap into Neptune, imagine the ideal, feel it now as if it's real through Moon and Virgo, and allow your own soul and spirit to guide you with discernment. Virgo is analysis of what this social soul transit will be teaching you. Remember, third house is learning. So you're gaining direct experience, and anything that will promote real Virgoan experiences out of your head and present in this dimension will help you, as you stay present, gain all the answers. So if you're watching this and you're confused about what you are, what you feel like, what's happening, it's because you're in your head. It's because you're not present. If you're present, you're allowing reality, which is sentient, every facet of existence is sentient, to guide you forward as you co-create the next step of the development of your abilities. Now let's talk superpowers. This, in conclusion with everything I've said, is going to really draw out and detail how to express and activate new psychic abilities. And you may need to just sit with yourself and allow yourself to be guided through. This isn't a Libra Sag transit or a Leo Libra that really needs evocation of your ideas. This is more analysis. This is more analyzing the psychic power and feelings that are activating this next level of yourself. Okay? Godspeed, ladies and gentlemen. Breakthroughs imminent. Don't be too shocked about what you find out about yourself and others. Just let that be more proof of how amazing you are. And I look forward to, and I hope you look forward to, the psychic abilities that will really express themselves on this day. Be prepared to practice it and break through with them. Peace.